Good evening and welcome to the Florida Eels Broadcast Network, where we have Friday night hockey ready to go between the 21-11-2 Florida Eels and the hosting 8-22-1-2 Florida Junior Blades. Fans, thank you for tuning into this premier contest. Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play of the action from Hertz Arena in Estero, Florida. Just about a minute and a half until players make their way out onto the ice. In moments, we'll have the starters announced, as well as the playing of the national anthem here in Estero. But before that, the Florida Eels would like to thank the following sponsors. This radio broadcast is brought to you by Leon Small Engine Service and Repair, Mike Patrick Electric, Southwest Florida Dryer Vent Cleaning, American Pool and Fountain Service, and Thomas Finau Jr., MVP Realty Associates. Fans, for all your real estate needs, contact Thomas Finau Jr. at MVP Realty Associates, 239-910-2869, or visit his website, TomSellsMore.SWFL.com. So fans, we will step aside, and then after the national anthem, we'll give you the starters for the Florida Eels, as well as your opening puck drop right here from Hertz Arena. You are tuned in to the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. Premier Hockey on the way after this. All right, fans, welcome back to the Florida Eels Broadcast Network, where we have just had a wonderful rendition of the national anthem, and now we are ready for puck drop to open up your first of 3 20-minute periods here in this premier battle, yet again between the Florida Eels and the Florida Junior Blades, inside Hertz Arena in Estero, Florida. Let's take a look at who the Eels will be starting this evening. In net, it's Danik Frankor between the pipes, the 6', 170-pound netminder from Laval, Canada. Meanwhile, the three forwards, Demid Podrazov, Gabriel Hemstrom, as well as Nikita Pinamasov. The pair of starting forwards will be Lucas Ov and Jace D'Alessandro. Starting goaltender for the Junior Blades is Christian Santatera, the 5'10", 170-pound goaltender from St. Louis, Missouri. Eels skating from right to left, Junior Blades from left to right, and we are underway as Nikita Pinamasov will win the opening draw, and it's dropped on down to the Eels' own left wing half wall for Jace D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro with an incomplete pass all the way down to the opposing left corner. We're standing right on the goal line was Demid Podrazov. However, he's not able to scoop it up. And now the Junior Blades will try to get something rolling in their direction, courtesy of Thomas Brezina. He can only get it to the enemy blue line before Jace D'Alessandro is able to finesse it away. Now tape to tape over to Gabe Hemstrom, but he'll give it right on over in between the benches at the penalty box boards. Now it's Shepard. Shepard losing the puck in his skates, and that kills an opportunity. Nikita Pinamasov tries to pick it loose, but to no avail. Now Pinamasov getting a second chance with it. Off to his right side, it's Demid Podrazov. But yet again, the Blades are just one step ahead with Gino Vlasic creating the turnaround. Now Gabe Hemstrom recoiling in the Eels' own ice. Down to the far right corner, it is Gage McNeish. Glad to see him back in action after he had to miss Wednesday night's game due to the flu. But here's a shot from the right circle and a goal. It's J.S. Robideau going over the left shoulder of Christian Santatera and in. And it's 1-0 Eels. 1 minute and 8 seconds into regulation. J.S. Robideau coming up with a beauty there with no Junior Blades defenseman to stop him. And that'll silence this Junior Blades crowd here in the opening moments. So back to play we go, and the Eels will get right back to the offensive side of things with Lucas Ov in his own left wing circle. Lucas Ov, the alternate captain, off to his left side at Skorek, but he'll forward it over to Figueroa at the halfway marker of the ice rink. Figueroa flips it into attacking ice, down to the right circle. Where's Nikita Pinamasov? Pinamasov shuffles it back on up to Ov, right side of the blue line, and Ov strings it down for D'Alessandro. Make that Robideau. Robideau over to Figueroa. Figueroa lost his stick, so he has to kick it up to Ov. Now with penalties on the way against the Junior Blades as Frank Orr comes rushing back to the net. They'll get Haldane out there as the extra attacker. Play still rolling, yet again penalty delayed, as here's Crabtree straddling the blue line. Off to the far boards for Hayden Haldane. Haldane at the halfway marker with a slap shot here. Whiffs on the opportunity. And the puck floats its way all up for Skorek at the left point. Shot on, save, bounced around a little bit by Sanzatera. Nobody can touch up on it, however. And finally, the delayed penalty is called. And it's a slash once again against the Blades. Doing the crime is Gino Vlasic, so what a hot start here for the Eels. Yet again, just a minute, 7 seconds in, they score the opening goal courtesy of J.S. Robideau, and that was 17:45 to go in period one. They will head to the 5-on-4, the first penalty for either team. So Robideau taking the draw here in the left circle. He'll be going up against Quinn Shepard. And here we go. A little bit of movement outer end of the near circle, so the officials trying to get a hold of everybody, trying to get players to spread out from one another. And there seems to be persistent difficulty here. However, it's still Robideau and Shepard taking the draw, and it's Shepard wiping it all the way down the remainder of the rink here for Lucas Ov on the near end of the blue line. Ov narrowly avoids a hit from Quinn Shepard, and it's dished on out to J.S. Robideau. Robideau spins past Shepard. He'll lose his stick in the process. And now it's Demid Podrazov with a 2-on-2. Podrazov leading the charge with Hemstrom up the near boards. Now up the gut to J.S. Robideau. Robideau switches it back up on the far glass, where now it's Gabe Hemstrom collecting the unattended disc. Now scraped along here for Nikita Pinamasov. Pinamasov outer end of the far circle now. Shot caromed out in traffic as taking the body out in front was Dylan Thompson in the high slot. Now yet again it's Pinamasov getting double teamed. He's sandwiched between a pair of defenders as he's not able to hold it in to enemy territory. Quinn Shepard gets roughed up by Lucas Ov as he tries to spread it down the length of the rink, as there is now 53 seconds to go on this power play to the Florida Eels. Taking a few moments behind the net is Lucas Ov, as the Eels will regroup with a fresh new line change. Now it's Jace D'Alessandro getting out there, taking a few moments, and he will finally flank it up the left wall for Jacob Handfast. Handfast exchanges it back over to D'Alessandro as he will now glide it down to the left wing half wall. Now backed up for Crabtree. Crabtree swooping into the high slot, but now Jan Kalinowski picks off what would have been a dump out to center. Another chance here for D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro and Crabtree going back and forth. Left circle for Crabtree. Takes a wrist shot that pinballs up to the right half wall. 5 seconds to go on the Eels 5-on-4. Kalinowski sets up D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro across to the right goal line. Sharp angle shot goes high and dry. And we're back to 5-on-5 as Vlasic heads out of the box and onto the Florida Eels benches. Now Noah Reeser will let it fly over the head of Jan Kalinowski all the way down to Francor. Francor on one knee clears it up the left dasher and all the way back to the Junior Blades' own ice. It's Kea Batur now getting out onto the rink for the first time of the game. And he'll quarterback yet another offensive drive for the Blades, shipping it up to Ormiston, and Ormiston will yank it on down behind the cage. Back up top for Batur. Batur whiffs on the wrist shot right into the blue line as Kev Toth will slice it on over right corner for Jan Kalinowski. Kalinowski yanked double teamed by Rooston Grund, but Handfast will get in there as the extra reinforcement as it's slapped back on in from the halfway marker of the ice by Dylan Thompson. 14:45 now to go in period one. Eels up 1-0 as now it's Kev Toth racing down the far boards, and he's stopped at the half wall. Slap shot by Gades McNeish, and it's kicked aside by Christian Sanzatera down to the near goal line. Picking up a rebounder from the near post was Philip Skorek. Couldn't drive it home, however, as now straddling the blue line is Toth. Toth can't catch it out of midair, as here's Skorek collecting the saucer. Now it's Medina back over to Skorek, right circle with the shot, and Sanzatera takes another one off the left pad. Shots on goal now 5-0 in favor of the Eels as they're up 1-0. Now Skorek holds it in from the left point as Gavin Medina will tack it on down the right circle. Brezina's right there to create the turn-away for the Blades. Now another line change for the Blades, and Sizov tacks it on in for the Eels. Not able to get there in time was Jared Figueroa as the lone Eel in enemy territory. Now it's Medina getting some rough stuff on the left corner, loses his stick, and a little bit of a scrum with Kyler Rowe, a Junior Blades newcomer, and those two will go their separate ways. Now it's Noah Reeser, gets it up but not out, and he'll have to chip it over for Wentworth. Wentworth flies it out to play up on the right dasher. Florida Eels in this hockey game donning the road green uniforms, white numbers and lettering on the back, black pants, green socks, and black helmets. The Junior Blades going with their gray uniforms, white numbers and lettering on the back, green pants, gray socks with the green stripes, and white helmets. Right circle we go. Junior Blades get it out of their end, but Eels will wipe it back on through with Robideau. Robideau with a rink-wide feed over for that appeared to be Colton Crabtree, and it was, but Crabtree couldn't get it across the crease with the kick save by Sanzatera. And that time it was a matter of inches there on a beauty of a 2-on-1 for the Eels. Off to the right side of Sanzatera we go here. And it's immediately dished out to Colton Crabtree at the high slot. Wrist shot blocked away by Brezina. And Brezina takes it all the way down the ice. Now it's Shepard joining him down along the near goal line. Finally, it's Lucas Ov. Ov down to the right corner. Jared Figueroa getting it on up for Brezina, who holds it in at the blue line. But he'll take a big left shoulder up along the glass by J.S. Robideau. Now Robideau alongside Figueroa, who handles the disc across, and he is offside. Eels are forced to give it back on over to the Junior Blades, and it's Brezina picking up the biscuit. He'll narrowly avoid a big check at the halfway marker by Hayden Haldane. Jan Kalinowski with the poke check by Shepard. Shepard will head right on back to the benches. Kalinowski stays out there, but the Eels will get fresh bodies. It's Cam Carnes along with Jacob Handfast. Brezina boards an Eel end to the boards, and that's a penalty yet again against the Blades, and there was an ugly one against Jan Kalinowski. And Kalinowski is one of the biggest men on this Florida Eels team, and that hit was as big as they come. So you can tell how vicious that one was. There was definitely some malicious intent behind it. Eels, once we get back to play, we'll head to 5-on-4. And the fans giving Jan Kalinowski some applause as he will head back to the benches under his own power. However, he is definitely in a little bit of pain. Once again, 1-0 Eels, 12:09 to go in the first. And it'll take a moment to figure out exactly how severe this penalty will be. Officials called it immediately. Eels fans in attendance definitely were none too happy about it, as you can imagine. Shots on goal still 6-0 in favor of the Eels, and we'll step aside and come back with the penalty verdict right after this. You are tuned in to the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. Thomas Brezina heading to the box for the Junior Blades as a 5-minute major after a huge cross-check on Jan Kalinowski. So the Eels heading back to the power play. 12 minutes to go in the first, and the Eels hold a 1-0 lead. As here's Lucas Ov dropping it on back to his netminder, and that is Danik Frankor. Frankor back behind his net, give and go back over to Ov, and he'll fly it up the right dasher. Lucas Ov through the wickets of Podrazov, and down the rink it goes for an icing. That'll take us back over to the Eels' own side of things. Eels benches off to the right side of my broadcast position this evening. Junior Blades sitting off to my left. 4 minutes, 36 seconds to go on the Eels power play. Puck will be dropped in the left wing circle. Hemstrom takes it, and it's a drop pass on back to Francoeur, who will keep it alive even though the Junior Blades had traffic running out in front of the net. Now it's Nikita Pinamasov. Side swipe over to J.S. Robideau. Robideau right circle, all the way up for Hemstrom at the left point. Darts it on down to the half wall. We're standing there as J.S. Robideau. Now walking it across the near goal line is Demid Podrazov. Backhander over to Ov. Now Ov playing it along the blue line, swinging across from left to right. And here he will find J.S. Robideau looking for his second goal of the evening, but to no avail as Sanzatera will take it straight to the breadbasket. So both teams will get the line changes rolling out here. We knew this game would have some physicality behind it for sure. Wednesday night's game at the Stadium certainly had its fair share of theatrics, but Eels general manager Frank Scarpacci ordered the team to stay out of that at all costs. Whatsoever, none of that extra stuff after the whistle will be tolerated. He just wants these boys to play hockey, but you can't let that keep you from playing a physical game of hockey at that. As here's D'Alessandro getting it across center for Handfast. Across the blue line it's played, and we'll have a blow of the whistle here. Now another penalty is called against the Junior Blades. This time it's Tristan Roos taking a seat for a slash. So now the Junior Blades have cut themselves into some sort of hole here. 5-on-3 for the next 2 minutes. Golden opportunity here for the Florida Eels. To Sanzatera's right will have the face-off. It's dug on down left corner. Up but not out for Lucas Ov. Collecting it off of the skate. Now wheels it down for Pinamasov. Far side circle. All the way up for Ov. Ov back down in front of the crease. But nobody's able to tack it on through. Junior Blades get the dump. 10:25 to go in the first. 1-0 Eels. As here's Lucas Ov quarterbacking the drive. Off to his right, he'll go with Robideau. Robideau goes back for Ov, and now it's Pinamasov taking a crack at it. But across the blue line, he's forced to give it back on over as the Eels were almost offside. 1 minute, 22 seconds of 5-on-3 for the Eels. Now it's J.S. Robideau. Across mid-rink, could be a 3-on-2 for the Eels if they hurry, but they cannot end up doing it. From the left wall to the far side. Now it's Pinamasov at the circle, dashing it up for Ov. Ripping one as Robideau. But yet again, Sanzatera able to squeeze the pads together. Now rebound by Ov. Almost had his centering feed over to Pinamasov, but he whiffed on the wrister. Now it's Robideau. Back down left corner. Making his way out is Hemstrom. Now shot for Ov. Sanzatera able to get right on top of it for the blow of the whistle. Now 9-1 are the shots on goal in favor of the Eels. They have really dominated since the get-go. And it's exactly what Frank Scarpacci, the head coach, wanted. He didn't want to see any fooling around whatsoever during warm-ups. This team can come out and score on you very early on. We need to be right on top of this game instead of playing behind. And the Eels were able to do exactly that with a goal just 1 minute, 7 seconds in from Robideau. As here's Handfast aiming high and dry from the far side. At the half wall, Jared Figueroa will collect it. Back up in between the rings. Now it's Haldane. Haldane going for Figueroa yet again at the left point. Slap shot off the left pad of Sanzatera. And over the glass it will sail. Junior Blades benches really giving their netminder Sanzatera some stick taps as they really like how he's doing. Handling the pressure, even with the Junior Blades down by a pair of men for the next 19 seconds. Left circle. Eels win the face-off for Jacob Handfast. Right end of the blue line. Dash back down for Crabtree. Crabtree waits at the goal line. Darts it over for Figueroa. Left circle. And it's a goal. Originally it was stopped by Sanzatera under the left arm, but it ended up trickling through, and the Eels lead 2-0, converting with 7 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Well, it wasn't the prettiest of power plays for the Eels, but they had that golden opportunity handed to them, and finally Figueroa is just able to pin it on across the crease as Tristan Roost now heads out of the penalty box. And on top of all of that, the Florida Eels are still on the 5-on-4 for the next minute, 33 seconds. So yet again, the Junior Blades have really hurt themselves and the front half of this period number 1. Eels, yet again, just getting right back to work. It's a bang, bang, bang style of offense as Herzog, midpoint, dishes it back down. J.S. Robideau shot in front. Rebounder, Sanzatera directs it away. But now it's off, looking for the one-time drive. Pad save, and it's sticked out to the right circle where the Junior Blades find some relief. Tristan Roost knifes it by Lucas Ov, and back for Danik Frankor playing it up the far goal line. Now it's Demid Podrazov. Podrazov sticking it down the right circle, walking it on in with a shot. And he wasn't able to get it across the pad. Now skimmed over to the far circle where hopping in the way is Roost. And Roost gets the 200-foot clearance as Eels get new bodies out there. It's Crabtree, D'Alessandro, Haldane, and Handfast. 20 seconds to go on the Eels 5-on-4 as it's Jan Kalinowski now. Right circle, drop pass for Colton Crabtree. Kalinowski trying to come up to him as Crabtree was getting roughed up from behind by Holden Hertog. Slap shot by Kalinowski. Right circle goes off of the crossbar as you could hear the ring of the iron all the way up here in the broadcast booth. And back to 5-on-5 we go. Full strength for the first time in a long time. As here's Hayden Haldane streaking his way back on in. Wrist shot. Gets some airtime, but taking it straight to the crest. Yet again is Sanzatera. 7 minutes left until the first intermission. Eels up by a pair. Meanwhile, we'll see what Todd Pocock, the head coach of the Junior Blades, can do to respond. Being assisted by Tyler Carlston on the benches. Junior Blades have the same coaching staff between their Premier and Elite squads. As now it's Medina forcing it down right corner. He gets taken up against the boards, and the Eels go back to the power play as here's a cross check. Vlasic's taking a seat as he'll visit the sin bin for the second time of the period. Junior Blades trying to really control the intensity of this game, but they're doing it in all the wrong ways as they can't seem to keep the box empty. And this is a very strict officiating crew that we have here this evening as they just tossed a Junior Blades fan who was shouting out from the benches, and it wasn't the first time that's happened here in the first. So they've had enough of them. And back to hockey we go. 5-on-4 for the next 2 minutes as it's J.S. Robideau. Robideau, half wall out the center. And he'll tag it over to Nikita Pinamasov, who gives it straight on over to Quinn Shepard. Well, we mentioned the Junior Blades once again having some recent roster adjustments. Yet again, Kyler Rowe, number 7, making his Junior Blades debut here tonight. Jake Putnam returns to the roster, number 6. And you also have Iacopo Granza, number 15. So Junior Blades with some unfamiliar faces. And let's see if they're able to have some success against the Eels here tonight. Podrazov gets yanked down near end of the goal line, and play continues as no call is made. Here's now Jan Kalinowski back at his own blue line. Guarding him is Shepard. Shepard retreats back to the benches. Kalinowski takes a 360 before switching it over to D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro with a give and go back over to Jan Kalinowski. Kalinowski spinning past Holden Hertog as the Eels sink it deep right circle. Shot, and once again holding on as Sanzatera as shaken up by the Eels as Jan Kalinowski. It's been a rough first period for him. Took a big hit against the glass earlier on, and it looks like he took a puck to the face this time around. As he skates back to the Eels benches. And the trainers will take a look at him. Right circle right away. Eels trying to cash in as it was Jared Figueroa with a backhander towards the blue paint. Sanzatera took it off the face mask. And Eels reload here at D'Alessandro. Up the gut for Crabtree, and Crabtree aimed high and dry over the crossbar. D'Alessandro left circle for Figueroa. And the puck will careen all the way down for Francoeur. Now 6 seconds to go here on the Eels power play. And they're not able to get anything off. Aiming it high as Reeser, and stopping it right at mid-rink was Jace D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro, only man open as Skorek down at his own left corner. So here air it out to him. Now it's Handfast, almost in a collision with Wormiston at the penalty box boards off to the far side of my broadcast position. But the Junior Blades will sail it back out of their ice, and every time they can get to clear, Eels just pin it right back on through. As here's Handfast. Handfast has it wheeled away by Roost. Roost down, right circle for Skorek, and Skorek finally able to pin it on over for Gage McNeish. McNeish tracks it down to Crabtree. Incomplete pass, however. So it's an icing against the Eels. Now 3:51 to go in the first. Junior Blades trail by 2. And it's the first period that they would like to forget and just leave behind as they head back into the locker room in a couple of moments. Sizov versus Roost on the far circle. Eels stuck back in their own territory, and this one is flung onto the Florida Eels benches. Making an impressive snag there is J.S. Roboto on the right-hand glove from the benches. So he'll throw the puck out onto the ice, and he'll head out on this change as well. Shots on goal now 16-1 going to the Florida Eels. My goodness. To the left circle, Sizov straight on back to Francoeur. A little bit of friendly fire there, so to speak, but Francoeur able to trap it between the mitts. And we'll do it all over again. And you see exactly what the Eels are trying to do there. They're just trying to drop it back to one of their own men. They're not trying to forward it on out to center. As here's Cameron Carnes, jabbing it across his own blue line, but not for long, as it's Kyler Rowe forking it back ahead. Now back behind the net of Francoeur, it's Skorek. Skorek over to Carnes. Carnes exchanges it back to Skorek, who takes a 360 on the near end of the blue line. Now Stefan Sizov almost got sandwiched between Brown and Hertog, but he's able to dart his way past them, as now it's Gage McNeish firing off to the right side out from center ice, and vacuuming it on up is Christian Sanzatera yet again in the first period, which has gone the Eels' way and every way which you could possibly imagine. So right circle now, we see Adam Bertzloff getting out there for the first time of the game in an Eels uniform. And right away, Eels win the draw. Medina able to get one on to Sanzatera, who prompts yet another whistle. So Bertzloff heads right back into the right circle. Hertog to the right corner. Bertzloff staying back as he'll let Medina handle it at the point. Now it's furthered on down to the half wall, where Medina takes it out back across and down to the left circle, attempting to wrap around this Bertzloff. Bertzloff eventually gets yanked down by Kea Bator. Bator gets it up a nod out for D'Alessandro. Now it's Noah Reeser getting pickpocketed by Bertzloff and the Junior Blades after a retreat once more. It's a through pass all the way out across the center of the rink, where now it's Lucas Ov going long for Toth. Toth gets yanked down. No call was made. Toth gets back up on his feet as here's Hertog starting it up from square one. And now we will see the blow of the whistle. And it's an elbowing penalty, which is going against Gavin Medina of the Florida Eels. So for the first time in this hockey game, the Junior Blades head to the 5-on-4. And I was just about to say the Florida Eels are doing an incredible job of just avoiding that unnecessary rough stuff. Of course, you usually see chippy play between the Eels and Blades, hard-hitting affairs, and that's perfectly normal. That's the game of hockey. But when you start getting into all of those obnoxious penalties like we've seen in the previous games of this 5-matchup series, that's something you don't want to have piling up on the score sheet. Yet again, folks, this is game 4 of a 5-game series between the Eels and Blades. And the Eels have won every single game played against the Blades thus far this season. 5-0 coming into the evening in that season series. Meanwhile, it's the Florida Junior Blades giving it yet another try with 1 minute, 20 seconds to go. On the Eels penalty kill, here's a close one to the left circle, but Kea Bator flanked it just wide off to the left side. Now it's picked away by Podrazov. Podrazov to the near circle, drop pass for Panamasov, and Sanzatera getting it in between the pads. Now 54 seconds to go, and period 1. Eels up by 2, and the Junior Blades are still looking to get on for the first time. When it comes to the scoring, left wing circle, J.S. Robideau pivots it out to mid-rink where it's Kea Bator taking over. Swung down to the left corner. Ryan Heck jumping out there, getting all over Lucas Ov. And Ov is able to deal it to the neutral zone. Jan Kalinowski getting out there as well. Nice to see after he's taken some rough bumps here in the first. And even a puck to the face. So yet again, good to see him out there as he'll have to guard up number 21, Brody Ormiston, down to the far goal line. Eels able to get it clear. 28 seconds to go on their power play, as now it's Wentworth trying to fly it on through. Rimmed on up the opposite end to the right glass. Now 7 seconds to go in the first. This one flung long by the Eels. Icing is negated, and that's all she wrote for the first 20 minutes of action, where your score, it's the Florida Eels 2 and the Junior Blades 0. We'll step aside and come back for your middle stanza of regulation right here on the Florida Eels Broadcast Network, Hertz Arena in Estero, Florida. Welcome back to the Florida Eels Broadcast Network, where we are set for period number 2 in this crosstown rivalry hockey game. Florida Eels Premier team leading over the Florida Junior Blades 2-0 as we enter your middle stanza of regulation. Junior Blades moving from right to left as they handle the puck over to Quinn Shepard at the center of the blue line, and complete, and it's picked away by Lucas Ov at his own left corner. Driven up the wall by Nikita Pinamasov, and now it's Gabe Hemstrom at the halfway marker of the rink. He'll fly it on through, back behind the cage, where standing it still is Christian Wentworth. Now Wentworth giving up for Pinamasov. Pinamasov will shank it on through, back behind the cage. Now Podrazov almost had a chance in the right circle, but yet again, the Junior Blades are able to dodge a bullet there. As yet again, it's 5-on-5 full strength. Now could be a 2-on-1 for the Eels. It's Hemstrom in between the rings, and Sanzatera with a nice save, but he's not able to hold on to the puck. As now down to the left corner. With it is Hemstrom. Hemstrom between the rings to J.S. Robideau, and the puck will go high and into the safety netting. Busy second period intermission here. Florida Eels definitely had a lot to talk about on how they can maintain and even extend this 2-goal lead. And we ended up having to race back up here in the broadcast booth just in time for the drop of the puck. So excuse me if I sound a little out of breath, but meanwhile, here's Figueroa at the opposing left circle, dropping it on down to the corner, where it's J.S. Robideau getting blocked up by Roost. Roost able to pry it free. Now up the opposite end it flies, where it's J.S. Robideau. Robideau got it up to the halfway marker of the dasher, where Vlasic will crash into him. Now four-man joust comes out of it, where now it's Colton Crabtree getting his helmet shoved off. Vlasic able to get the turn away. Now 2-on-2 for the Junior Blades. Right circle leading the charge is Vlasic. Vlasic with a shot, and it's taken off of the chest pad of the netminder, Danik Frankor. Colton Crabtree up the gut, backhander by Figueroa, but he rings it off at the crossbar, and the puck is wiggled back on down to the near goal line. Jan Kalinowski up at the point, rings it back behind the cage for Jared Figueroa. Now 17:35 to go in the second. Eels looking for their 20th shot of the hockey game. 19-4 the shots on goal. As here's Colton Crabtree, outer end of the near circle for hand fast. Slap shot off of the cross feeder. Figueroa got blocked up by Vlasic, and now Vlasic is writhing in pain in his own left circle. His face is down on the ice, and finally he gets back up. And he's actually going to stay in the hockey game. He does not go back to the Junior Blades benches, as here's another odd man rush for the Eels, but it falls about quickly as Cam Carnes slips down onto the ice. Now Lucas Ov able to jab one on to Sanzatera, who squeezes the pads together. Now another 2-on-2 scramble, right wing half wall for Hayden Haldane. Haldane going back for a hand fast, and hand fast aims too high. Out of play. Fans, this second period is brought to you by Thomas Finau Jr. MVP Realty Associates. For all your real estate needs, contact Thomas Finau Jr. at MVP Realty Associates at 239-910-2869 or visit his website, TomSellsMoreSWFL.com. So draw coming off to Sanzatera's left here, as Hayden Haldane will lean into the face-off for the Eels. Sparks it down to the right corner where it's Lucas Ov getting to it first, but Bator and Shepard will team up to beat him out. Shepard gets it to the opposing wall, but not able to get it up or out. Now finally giving in a hand there is Kea Bator. Bator not able to get the backhander out, but he does so right on the second attempt. Now it's Lucas Ov, his own goal line, left side. Hacked on out to center. Lucas Ov was the intended receiver, but Alex Brown ended up intercepting it. Alex Brown got involved in some confrontation in that Wednesday night hockey game against the Eels, where the Junior Blades fell 8-3 at the Fort Myers Stadium. Left point, save made by Sanzatera. Let go of it, however, and it was just a matter of inches, but the Junior Blades able to keep it out of the net. Now it's Brown, thwarting it on back behind Danik Frankor's cage. Brown heading back to the benches. Now it's Stefan Sizov. Sizov to the high slot, getting taken off of it there is Sizov, as he received a hit from Dylan Thompson and the cover-up from Sanzatera. $15:28 to go in the first, 2-0 Eels. Now jammed up to the right point. It's Gage McNeish just getting it past Brody Ormiston. And now Ormiston grabbing control of the puck as it's all alone down at the enemy right corner. He's not able to get anything rolling. Medina came crashing into him there. And now it's the Junior Blades out in mid-rink. Well, Medina, he was another one who got physical in that Wednesday night hockey game. Here's a 2-on-2. Eels managed to stay onside even though the Junior Blades fans in attendance disagree with that one. And now it's tossed down to the left corner. Getting intercepted by Ormiston, but Ormiston can't maintain possession. As now it's Tristan Roost to the left circle. Now near point for Wentworth. Wentworth's wrist shot gets taken by a body in front, and it was Gavin Medina. Medina not affected by that in any way as Junior Blades keep it rolling. Now it's Heck, right circle save, rebound, and what an incredible stoppage by Danik Frankor. Poke check save, but the puck was still at the blue paint of Frankor's, and it appeared that Lucas Awe was able to dig it free and eventually clear it down the ice to keep the Junior Blades off of the scoreboard. Now it's Holden Hertog narrowly avoiding a blow at the right point from Philip Skorek. Skorek ended up losing possession of his skates, and now showing footwork as Podge off to the right circle. Went over to the far post there for Pinamasov, but it was picked away. Now it's opened up between the rings and up against the penalty box boards off to the far side of my broadcast position. 2-on-1 for the Blades now, but Frankor able to kick it aside down to the near circle. Puck blocked up by Brown. What I was trying to say a few moments ago is Alex Brown and Medina, those two definitely had some words for each other back on Wednesday night, some up-close confrontation, but it seems like tonight it's a whole new game, and those two are just letting things be. But yet again, the Junior Blades, it's been a very frustrating season for them thus far, and they're just looking to finally get a win against their crosstown rival. And that really is a big factor for all of that aggression they're really showing on the ice. But nonetheless, the Eels keep it rolling as here's Podge off to the nearest circle, hits the post, and sitting on top of it is Sanzatera for the blow of the whistle. 2-0 Eels yet again here in the second. 12:38 remains. And as we wind down towards the conclusion of the regular season, these arch-rival games remain as important as ever for the Florida Eels as they're now in that first-place spot of the Florida Premier Division. One game ahead of the DME Swamp Rabbits. Eels with 44 points, Swamp Rabbits with 42. Frankor taking the puck, wiping it up to the right point. Barely keeping it across by a matter of inches is Grund. Grund flashes it to the opposing side. Left corner for Shepard. Shepard has it sparred loose by J.S. Robideau. Heck heading off to the benches as now it's Colton Crabtree. Crabtree with a little through pass error, but it ends up getting escaped by Kyler Rowe. Now rescued up to the right point by Rowe. Shot from the right point, and it barely stays in play, hitting the back glass. Now it's Lucas Ove. Here to the left circle, he rolls it for Robideau. Robideau back over to Crabtree. Crabtree takes a stick to the face, but he remains rolling to the right circle. A shot and a goal! J.S. Robideau with his second goal of the game puts the Eels up by 3 with 11:32 to go in the second. Robideau getting some help from both Colton Crabtree and Jared Figueroa for the pair of assists. And the Eels just remain as dominant as ever. Yeah, if you're a Florida Eels fan, that's one thing you love to see from this team is consistency, game in as game out. There's no such thing as complacency, nor is there any room for it, according to Eels general manager Frank Scarpacci, as the delayed penalties on the way. It will go against the Eels. Whistle is blown, and it's an interference, which occurred right off the face-off. The guilty party is Cameron Carnes, the Florida Eels team captain. So now the Junior Blades enter their second power play of the contest. 0 for 1 thus far. Far circle up for Roost. Roost at the high slot and catching it off the right shoulder is Danik Frankor once again. Now it's Hertog, middle of the ice, off to his right side. He connects with Max McAllister and a goal. Tristan Roost once again between the circles, gets up close to Frankor and goes glove high for the first goal of the game for the Junior Blades. Once again, they capitalize on the 5-on-4, 3-1 Eels. Well, that wakes up this Hertz Arena crowd. Pretty modest-sized attendance here this evening. But nonetheless, this is a pretty intimate setting for a hockey game, so even if it's not an absolute packed house, this Junior Blades crowd knows how to bring the energy. And let's see if that can set a little bit of a tone here for the remainder of this second for the Junior Blades and their fan base. Yet again, Roost is announced as the goal scorer. Gino Vlasic with the assist. And that is the only assist on the Junior Blades opening tally this evening. Now it's D'Alessandro from behind the net of Danik Frankor. Up to the right half wall. Now it's Pinamasov. Pinamasov streaking here. Could be a 2-on-1 with Hemstrom racing his way on into the right circle. Wrist shot and Sanzatera able to put glove to puck, as now we have some pushing and shoving back behind the cage, but nothing more will come out of it, as Nikita Pinamasov had a couple of words to share with Kea Bator. Very fast-moving hockey game, yet again, both on the ice and on the clock, as we are already at the halfway marker of regulation here in this Premier battle. Keep in mind, Elite Hockey will start up afterwards between Eels and Junior Blades right here at Hertz Arena on the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play. Thank you for making us a part of your Friday evening, as once again it's Crabtree trapping it across the opposing blue line. Extends it down to the circle, and now plopped up top for Skorek. Skorek whiffs on his wrist shot, and it's retrieved down on the far corner, yet again by J.S. Robideau, who has scored twice here this evening. Now could be another odd man rush here. Right circle with a shot, but it's foiled yet again by Frankor, as Kyler Rowe was the lone attacking Junior Blade. Now another odd man rush, this time for the Eels. Crabtree across for Figueroa, and Figueroa lights the lamp. Jared Figueroa with his second goal of the hockey game. And just when the Junior Blades had something going for them, the Eels swing momentum right back into their favor as they lead 4-1. And that 2-on-1 was as wonderful as they come. Colton Crabtree to the left circle, made it to the far post, spun it across to the opposite end, and Figueroa was right on the doorstep to tuck it in. First one to touch up on it here at the center ice draw. It's Christian Wentworth, but Bertzloff is able to fix it right past him. Spelled down to the left corner. Colton Crabtree yet again with the assist, and that's the only one on that play. As here's Gage McNeish, guarded up by Ormiston up on the right end of the blue line. McNeish able to sink it down. And now it's anchored to the other end for Medina. Medina up on the left wing half wall. To the goal line it will fling. And now Ormiston will attract it out to middle of the rink. Roost up to Wentworth. Left point save made. Not able to hold on to it as Frankor, but he's finally able to trap it second time around. Bertzloff getting a little heated there with Tristan Roost, who was trying to dig the biscuit loose out of Frankor's skates, but he's held back by a couple of teammates. As these boys are keeping in mind what the general manager, Frank Scarpacci, instructed them to do before this game, and don't get involved with any of that. And the locker room, the players said to each other, hey, if you don't want to get yelled at, just don't even buy into any of that nonsense. But the Eels, they've really taken control of this hockey game. But that's no excuse to really play down to what they're used to. If you give this Junior Blades any chance to score, they'll do exactly that. And we've seen it earlier on here in the second, with Tristan Roos scoring the lone goal thus far in the game for the Blades. Jan Kalinowski working it up to the enemy left point, but it's Wentworth stripping it away, taking it back down the length of the ice. Sizov got it on out, and for the reinsurance, it's Jacob Handfast. Handfast getting his way out in front of Sanzatera, backhander off of Sanzatera's body and into the mesh netting. Florida Eels elite team in the house, watching this Premier game before their contest starts yet again at roughly 8:45. 8:02 to go in the second. Eels lead by 3. It's a 4-1 score right now. And now it's Hemstrom looking for the 29th shot on the evening for the Eels. Not able to get it that time around as Shepard took the body there, and now the puck goes up and out of play from Philip Skorak on the deflection. So that'll take us back out to the red dot in the neutral zone. Eels with their backs to the wall. It's Pinamasov versus Shepard. And it's Pinamasov coming out victorious. And he will get rough with Shepard there. Those two going down on top of each other. But eventually they will get back to play. As now it's Demid Podrazov. McNeish off to his right. But it's an evened up 2-on-2 chance. Podrazov with a shot. And it got in. That was a controversial one indeed. Junior Blades players protesting. But it somehow got between the wickets of Sanzatera and in. And it was Gabe Hemstrom creating the deflection. Sanzatera took him a moment to get back up, and I think a big part of that was he's just really eating that one up. He knows that was one he could have held on to, but that's just not what happened. So now it's a 5-1 Eels hockey game. And yet again, if you're a Florida Eels fan, this is exactly what you want to see. A relentless team attacking through all 60 minutes of play. And now it's going to be a 3-on-1 for the Eels. Left circle for Podrazov. Podrazov with a shot and a save by Sanzatera. Skorak laying out Grund in the left circle now. Well, anyway, that ability to play throughout the entirety of a hockey game is something that will take this Eels team a long way heading into the postseason in late February next month. Getting a stick held up on is Skorak. Now a chance for the goal. It's Hemstrom scoring. Vlasic lays him out from behind, and the Eels are pouring it on. 6-1. Hemstrom was screaming at Vlasic after he was laid out. And then his Eels teammates surrounded him, picked him back up, and then congratulated him. Yet again, Eels keeping a cool head and letting it show on the scoreboard as Now Sanzatera has his night come to a close. Declan Rooney getting in between the pipes. Declan Rooney played this past Wednesday night. He split time with netminder Patrick Latava. And let's see if Rooney is able to get something going here on the defensive side of things. So yet again, that's something to keep in mind. Christian Sanzatera has his night come to an end. And right away, Declan Rooney, he's going to have some opposition. Right circle, Figueroa with a shot. A backhander between the rings, but he's not able to cash in. Now two junior blades cruising on into attacking ice. It's Figueroa. Figueroa swiping it up for Crabtree. And now Crabtree over to Demid Podrazov. Swinging down the gut of the blue line. Figueroa flicking one, but Reeser takes it off of the left skate. As there are now 6 minutes, 8 seconds to go until the end of period 2. Yet another tough one here for the junior blades. Four goals for the Eels here in period 2. Two of them came in the first as a part of their 6-1 lead right now. Junior Blades, their only goal of the game, came right here in the middle portion. Now Kea Bator and Figueroa lock up with each other after the whistle, but yet again, nothing more comes out of that. And it's been great to see cool heads really prevail here between these two rivals. And last Wednesday night's contest, there was stoppage after stoppage after stoppage due to these constant scrums which were breaking out, as now it's Medina back behind the opposing net. Give and go to Bertzloff, and Bertzloff will shovel it over to Medina, now at the left corner. Eels trying to wipe it out in front of Declan Rooney here, and Rooney kicks it away over to the far circle. Finally rifled on out for Shepard. Shepard into attacking ice. Backhander to the left point, it's Brown. Brown takes a hip check from Bertzloff. Shot on save, rebounder from the far post, but not able to tuck it home is Christian Wentworth. Now it's Jan Kalinowski going short for Toth. Toth to the near end of the half wall. Medina with the crossfeeder, but yet again it's Kyler Rowe intercepting it. Rink wide for Brown. Brown could have a breakaway. Left circle save by Danik Frankor off of the left-hand glove. And now it's Medina with Skorek in front. Save, rebounder, and Toth almost had the golden opportunity there. Back and forth, up and down the ice we go. As now it's Jacob Handfast quarterbacking this drive from the left corner of Eels ice. Over for Toth in front of the Eels bench. He's able to whip it on through. Held back behind the net by Rooney. And now it's Josh Grund going incomplete as he was looking to locate Holden Hertog there. Goes in between the skates, and it's back on over to Vlasic, who sails it into the safety netting right in front of the broadcast position. Yet again here at Hertz Arena, safety netting takes a 360 wrap all around the glass, so all the fans are protected here. And good thing, because that one was making a beeline straight up for us. 35-14 are now the shots on goal in the Eels' favor. 6-1 is the score and the advantage of the Eels with 3:55 to go in period 2. It's the far circle now. Ov just barely kept it across the blue line by a matter of inches from the midpoint. Goes all the way down for Haldane. Tried to go short from the far post, but a pad save is made. Now blocked all the way down the ice for Grund. Grund with a shot, and it hits the face mask of Danik Frankor, who has to shake that one off. Now it's Haldane with a full head of steam. Backhander for Handfast, and Handfast leaves a scuff on the backboard as he aimed wide right. Now it's Handfast once more. Far circle. Had too many Junior Blades bodies in front. That time it was Roost. Handfast tried to connect with Ov at the left point, but it ends up being Holden Hertog directing it the opposite way. Now trashed on over here for Handfast. Handfast gives it straight on over to Hertog, who gets a free shot on net from the right circle. And it's an easy save for Danik Francoeur. Off the skate of McNeish, the disc will go, and eventually onto the Junior Blades bench. Both teams getting fresh new bodies out there to the rink. Pinamasov taking this drop of the puck for the Eels at the red dot. Pinamasov, he is on a 5-game point streak coming into the night. He's the team leader of the Eels with 24 assists and 41 points. He's tied for first in goals with Jared Figueroa as they both have 17. Now it's Podrazov. Right circle with a backhander. Pinamasov with a second chance, and he aimed too high. Now it's Nikita Pinamasov right into the goal line, swinging in front of the net, shot, and that's over the head of Declan Rooney. Now it's Hemstrom trying to sort it away past Shepard to no avail. Scissored over to Brown at the near post. And finally, the Eels get it from one direction to the other. Icing against the Eels, now down to the final 2 minutes until the second intermission. We're starting to see some more fans file in here as we get a little closer towards the elite matchup tonight. Once again, projected to begin at around 8:45 p.m., 7:34 right now as we speak here at Hertz Arena. Also going on now within this facility is Florida Everblades ECHL hockey, as here's Pinamasov, left circle, offensive zone for Hemstrom. D'Alessandro goes across for Podrazov, and Podrazov not able to pull the trigger. Now whiffed back up for Skorek right into the blue line, and he will meet the pads of Rooney. Well, yet again, just right about now, the Florida Everblades ECHL hockey team, they are starting up their game tonight, as Hertz Arena consists of 3 ice sheets. You have the main rink, which holds about 8,000 people, and then you have the 2 recreational rinks, one of which we are playing on right now. Down to the last 90 seconds of period 2. Figueroa catches the puck out in midair with a saucer coming on the way from Holden Hertog in his own far circle. Now all the way down, it is sent from Brody Ormison, and he's rung up with the icing call. Yet again, Eels lead by 5. It was a close game all the way up to this point, where the Eels have just really carried things out of hand. And we thought the Eels were looking good in the first. Well, this second has been to an all-new level. Something you like to see yet again for a team looking to maintain their spot for first in the Florida Premier Division. And that's especially huge considering the fact that DME, who's now in second place, they're such a difficult opponent for the Eels to play against. DME, they've had the number of the Eels throughout the course of the season, and we'll see the Eels play them 3 more times by the conclusion of the regular season yet again next month. Meanwhile, it's Josh Grund trying to whip it on in front of Danik Francoeur. Francoeur off to the right wing wall. Shot coming in from Grund, point blank, but he ends up sailing it into the mesh netting. Line change for the Eels. Same can be said for the Junior Blades on the way with 29.9 on the clock. to the near wing. It's Shepard plopping it up top. Wentworth with the opportunity there. Can't get it too far, and Brown will fork it on down to the left half wall. Now Sizov coming up with a little bit of an interference there. Toth and Skorek will beat out Shepard to it. Now a giveaway, and a deadly one at that. But it's over the head of Frank Orr, and Frank Orr lost his balance. 5 seconds to go. Last second opportunity for Medina. Medina fires it in to Rooney, and the clock is stopped with 4/10 of a second to go. So one drop of the puck will do it before these teams head back to the locker rooms. Officials deciding where this will take place. And now you have Florida Eels all over the ice. And finally, the clock runs out. So that does it for your second period. And after 40 minutes of regulation and this Premier Hockey game, your score, the Florida Eels 6 and the Junior Blades 1. We will step aside during the intermission and come back with your third period right after this. Live from Hertz Arena in Estero, Florida. You are tuned into the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. Back to hockey we go for your third period of action. And this premier battle where the Florida Eels lead over the Florida Junior Blades by a 6-1 score. The Eels win the opening draws. They skate from right to left across your computer screen. Junior Blades from left to right as Christian Wentworth drops it across the halfway marker of the rink for the Blades. Now Podrazov cruising in down to the attacking right corner. Feeds it across for Nikita Pinamasov and the left circle. Now Pinamasov trading it to Hemstrom. Hemstrom back up top to Pinamasov and the high slot. Shot aims wide off to the right side. Rebounder coming from the far half wall from Gabe Hemstrom. Not able to reach the net of Declan Rooney, however, and the Junior Blades get the dump down the remainder of the ice. Lukasov will retrieve it. Now 45 seconds. And the period number 3. Yet again, Eels donning their road green uniforms, white numbers and lettering on the back, black pants, green socks, and black helmets. Meanwhile, Junior Blades going with the gray uniforms, white numbers and lettering on the back, green pants, gray socks, and white helmets as they regroup in their own end. It all starts with Christian Wentworth down to the near corner. Now forwarded all the way out to center for Kea Bator. Bator rims it around to the opposing side where it's halted on the far goal line by Jace D'Alessandro. Now D'Alessandro holds up Ormiston to receive the biscuit in the right circle. Side swipe off to his left where he will connect with Demid Podrazov. Podrazov aims off to the far post. Popped up in the air by Gades McNeish up at the right point. And here are the Junior Blades yet again working across the right end of the blue line as Jan Kalinowski tries and get things sorted back into the Eels' favor. And it's just been an all-night struggle here for the Junior Blades as they try to work back down from 5 goals. 6-1 Eels once again as it's Jared Figueroa leading it down to the right end wall. Figueroa with a pair of goals tonight. Able to say the same as J.S. Robideau as those two are sharing the same shift this evening. So both of those men looking for a hat trick before the end of this 17 minutes and a half. Here's a shot and a goal. It was up at the right point and it trickles across. It looks like D'Alessandro came up with the chance and then it was tipped in with the deflection by Jared Figueroa. So just as I say that, Figueroa collects the hat trick, his third goal of the evening, and that makes this an 8-1 Eels advantage. Make that 7-1. Man, what a frustrating game this one has been for these Junior Blades fans in attendance. Now it's Philip Skorek dropping it back to his own nearest circle. And, you know, it's especially great to see this Florida Eels team really playing so well after this Premier team has went through a bout with the sick flu, and it's still going on as we speak. J.P. Montmarquette, a Florida Eels defenseman, he has been scratched from this hockey game due to the flu. He showed up earlier on this evening, was not feeling well, so he went back home to rest. As yet again, we're just across town here at Fort Myers for this so-called road game. Now fired on in from D'Alessandro at the midpoint, skitters on down to the near side half wall where a four-man joust will break out for the puck. Now opened on up at the left end wall for Handfast. Handfast for Haldane. It's not tape to tape, and the Junior Blades will take advantage of that one. Noah Reeser pouring it on into Eels' own ice. We're taking control as Frank Orr back behind his net. Frank Orr now off to his left. It's Philip Skorek. Skorek going long out to the red line out at center for Cameron Carnes, but the Junior Blades will dump it once more. It's Skorek dueling with Brown. Brown gets a shot on. A rebounder coming by Bator at the near post, but not budging as Frank Orr as he vacuums it on up. Now 4 minutes into the third, 7-1 Eels. Fans, this third period is brought to you by Thomas Finau Jr. For all your real estate needs, contact Thomas Finau Jr. at MVP Realty Associates, 239-910-2869, or visit his website, TomSellsMoreSWFL.com. Kalinowski, near circle, shot hits the iron, and Kalinowski will hold on to the right end boards. Now it's Medina popping it up. He will maintain possession, even with Brown on his back, and Brown buries down Medina. We talked about how those two had some bad blood going on Wednesday night, but neither one of those men not really showing it here, as yet again it's all about those cooler heads prevailing. Now Brown takes down Medina yet again, outer end of the right circle. Those two going at it back behind the play. Meanwhile, it's the Junior Blades taking a 360 around Declan Rooney, the netminder who came in for relief of Christian Sanzatera back in the second. Now a holding penalty is on the way against Kev Toth of the Eels. Declan Rooney, very interesting first name. Yet again, Declan is how you spell it. It's a good Irish name. And let's see what him and his Junior Blades team are able to do here as they go up a man for the next 2 minutes. Hertog to the right circle. Junior Blades get it right back on out. Courtesy of Pinamasov. Turned over for Podrazov. Shot and a goal! Oh my goodness. A short-handed goal for Demid Podrazov between the rings. Glove hand, side and in. 8-1 Eels. 15 minutes to go in the game. And that's just how you know it is not your night. This Junior Blades team showed up in front of a home crowd, more determined than ever to beat out the Florida Eels for the first time this season. They show up with brand new players on their roster, but it's not working here tonight. And it all started on one silly turnover for Podrazov to flick it in. And Pinamasov gets the lone assist on to Tally, as letting this one fly is Gage McNeish all the way down to the left corner. Yet again, you usually see Montmarquette and McNeish sharing that same defensive line, but it's not the same this evening with Montmarquette out with the stomach bug. McNeish, interestingly enough, he had to sit out of Thursday's practice along with Demid Podrazov as they both had the virus. So it's went across just about, well, almost everyone on this Florida Eels roster, but thankfully they're able to field a full team and come out with a dominating display here on this Friday night at Hertz Arena. Now it's the Junior Blades, keeping it going with Shepard. Shepard with the poke check from Colton Crabtree, outer end near circle by Wentworth. And Frank Core able to snatch it on up with 40 seconds to go on the Florida Eels penalty kill. Surprisingly, we haven't seen a whole lot of Josh Grund throughout the course of this hockey game. He scored a pair of goals last Wednesday against the Eels. Yet again, when the Eels came away with an 8-3 win at the Fort Myers Stadium. A rare weeknight game, and we will recap that for you in just a couple of moments on the next stoppage as Off barrels it on in from the halfway marker of the rink down the right wall, and it's halted back behind the cage. Taking a chance is Iacopo Granza. Yet again, the Junior Blades newcomer takes it from one end to the other, coast to coast, before J.S. Robideau is able to take the biscuit off of him. Now it's Colton Crabtree, the lone Eel, getting in there to enemy ice. Wheels it on over for Robideau. And Robideau goes back for Crabtree, midpoint, charging his way down to the left circle, where he's not able to get a shot off. Haldane getting his stick locked up there. And a brief altercation with Ryan Heck. But now it's Jan Kalinowski soaring his way on through. Sandwiched between a pair of defenders. He stays on his, but he's not able to keep the puck on his tape. Eels elite team really making some noise. Team of this game down at the glass level, just across from the Florida Eels benches. And now it's Jacob Handfast, right under the blue line with a shot. Pops up in midair. Kalinowski retrieves it. And not able to clear it was Kyler Rowe. And Junior Blades are getting dumped down left and right. You can hear the Florida Eels elite players just absolutely giving it up for their premier counterparts out there on the ice. This time it's Kalinowski yet again, just absolutely relentless out there. Tried for the shuffle for Cam Carnes, and now it's Roost. Roost to the enemy left circle. Went for the crossfeeder for Kyler Rowe, jumping in the way as Gates McNeish before the officials kill off the play. This is a slash going against the Eels, Jan Kalinowski. You remember moments ago when the Eels were on the man advantage, make that the Junior Blade advantage. Eels scored the shorthanded tally. And it was Demid Podrazov able to do exactly that. And you know, that's just incredible. The fact that Demid Podrazov and even Gates McNeish, they were sick yesterday with the flu. They come back today better than ever. Podrazov lights the lamp. Gates McNeish remains quicker than ever. And it really has been an interesting night. And that's not the end to the penalties here, as now we see Alex Brown take a stop to the sin bin here. And we will have 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. 11:47 to go in the third. 8-1 Eels lead as a pair of officials go over to both benches and talk this over. Fans, if you are looking for the most reputable pool and fountain service, look no further than American Pool and Fountain Service. Serving Naples, Bonita Springs, Marco Island, Estero, and South Fort Myers. Contact them at 239-860-7755 or visit their website, AmericanCleanPools.com. It was a high stick call going to Alex Brown. Keep in mind it was a slash going to Kalinowski, so 2 separate penalties, which takes us to 4-on-4 now for the next minute and a half. Eels up by 7. They're not giving up, however, as now it's Sizov to the right circle. Tries to backhand one on to Declan Rooney, but Rooney won't even have that one go his way. Stefan Sizov to the right point, getting pressured by a pair of men. Now it's a 2-on-1 for the Blades. Left circle, sliding it across for Grund was Batur, and that was way off. So just another great opportunity gone awful there for the Blades, as the Eels are immediately able to rifle it on out in front of the benches. Bringing it on in is Vlasic. Vlasic to his back, it's Ov. Ov drills him into the right corner, and now it's Pinamasov kicking up the heels. Pinamasov to the left circle shot, and that's taken off of the right hand of Declan Rooney. And this has been a very quick-moving game on the time clock. That's another thing we'll talk about in the next stop, as we head down to the final 10 minutes of regulation. This one, wind and fire coming up from Bator outside the left circle. And getting all over that one yet again is Danik Frankor. Great night for him as he has stopped 18 shots out of 19 faced. 43-19 shots on goal going for the Eels. Yet again, it's 8:05 p.m. And we're already heading towards the final minutes of this action. This very well could get done by 8:20 if these two teams remain out of that rough stuff which causes the delays. But now we're back to 5-on-5. Brown and Kalinowski out of the box. Both men will head back to their separate benches. And now it's Crabtree. Right circle with a dangle there, but Shepard's able to pick it away. Now it's Shepard dangling his way past D'Alessandro, and he will fly it high straight to the left-hand glove of Frankor. Yet again, we'll have the completion of this hockey game, about a half an hour break, and then we'll head straight into elite action. Junior Blades, no stranger to these late night hockey games, as all of their Friday night home contests have the same time format. Premier game at 6:15, elite at 8:45, but we've seen some of those elite games actually start half an hour later than expected at 9:15. So the earlier you can get this Premier game out of the way, the better, as once again with a phenomenal stoppage, as Frankor able to squeeze it together through the 5-hole, with Josh Grun taking the opportunity. And of course, we'd like to say congratulations to J.S. Robideau and Lucas Ov, who just before this game were named the USPHL Premier Players of the Week. Yet again, J.S. Robideau a forward, Lucas Ov a defenseman. And these are two men who are definitely worthy of that title. Lucas Ov, a first-year defenseman who has certainly earned his stripes with the Premier team ever since the very beginning of the season. J.S. Robideau, a seasoned veteran on the other hand, who took a brief hiatus from the Eels but returned mid-season, as a matter of fact, just last month. Cam Carnes wipes out on the ice to the left circle. Down he goes on his own. And that's the second time we've seen him blow a tire out there this evening. Now it's Jan Kalinowski out of his own left corner. Gets out of a scrum there as he exchanges some shoves with Bator. Now it's Carnes yet again. Carnes getting ran into by Max McAllister. Where now it's Hayden Haldane. Haldane gets taken down from behind on the left end wall. 7:43 to go here in the third. 8-1 Eels. Yet again, 4 goals in the second for the Eels, 2 in the first. And then another pair right here in period number 3, where now it's Danik Frankor rotating the puck around this cage, over the Gage McNeish, right into the goal line. Now Bertzloff trading some sticks together with Brown. And the Junior Blades continue some big hits here as they try to get some sort of momentum rolling. Bertzloff tacks it on into offensive ice. Junior Blades get a line change. Eels will also do the same. After the puck was pinballed around a little bit, out in the neutral zone. Now it's Lucas Ov. Across to the right corner for Skorek. Skorek back across for Ov. And off with a through pass attempted for Podrazov, incomplete. However, the icing is negated. Skorek having to back up. Coming in on him across the near end of the blue line was Noah Reeser. And now Podrazov chips it back ahead. Podrazov keeping it across. Tried to mop it up over to Philip Skorek in between the circles there, but didn't work out as he aimed a bit too high. Now it's Lucas Ov. Taking a 360 around Frankor before it's chipped up by Reeser at the left point. Heck getting in on some of the action as well towards Lucas Ov. Pinamasov near circle. Shot taken off of the leg of Wentworth. Play continues to roll steadily here until Declan Rooney is able to put glove to puck. 5:48 to go in the game. Eels up by 7. Yet again, we talked about Declan Rooney. Not a starter in this hockey game, but he came in relief for Christian Sanzatera, who started the game in between the pipes. Declan Rooney made his debut in his hockey game back in the second, around the halfway marker. Junior Blades immediately clear it down the rink from the left circle. And it's Podrazov getting things started up yet again for the Eels. He'll try and connect with Hemstrom down to the right circle, but right away, the interception is made by Kea Bator. Bator muscles it forward for Ryan Heck. Heck going rink wide to the near glass for Kyler Rowe. Rowe with a slap shot in the circle. And yet again, taking it straight to the crest is Danik Frankor. Well, we were going to talk about that Wednesday night hockey game between the Eels and Junior Blades. And finally, now that we have time, we'll be able to do exactly that. Last Wednesday night, Eels outlasted the Junior Blades 8-3. Jared Figueroa scored a hat trick, while Colton Crabtree connected for 3 assists on the game. So how about that, folks? Jared Figueroa, 2 games in a row, he has scored a hat trick. 6 goals, 2 games. That is just phenomenal as Lucas Ov collides with an official up on the right end of the blue line. As he gets back up, looks like he's went through a blizzard. Now this attempted pass to Ov flies over his stick. He'll retrieve it at the Eels' own blue line. Going to the near wall for D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro ahead for J.S. Robideau. To the right corner he'll go, and he lost his footing. Eels able to keep the biscuit in their favor, however. Crabtree wrap around here for Robideau. Robideau looking for a hat trick of his own. Came up short, and now he's shaken up. Doubled over right in front of the Junior Blades bench. But play rolls on. Robideau heading back to the benches. And now Robideau is going to exchange some shoves as the officials kill the play. Robideau none too happy with Max McAllister. McAllister gave Robideau a little hit, and then he went straight over to Jared Figueroa. Robideau now shouting over at the Junior Blades benches as Max McAllister will take a seat for the Junior Blades. Robideau's heading back over to the Eels benches, and nobody has went in the Eels side of the sin bin thus far. That very well may change here, and it will, as Robideau will be ordered back on in. So it appears that these pair of violations will offset against one another, and will continue with evened up hockey for now, as we have 4 minutes, 12 seconds to go. 8-1, Eels continue to dominate. We've talked all game long about the Eels having cool heads, staying relaxed, not giving in to any extracurricular activities. But in that moment, J.S. Robideau is trying to stick up for a teammate there and even send a message. Don't be messing with our guys. Don't be messing with multiple of them within a matter of moments. Now the Florida Eels elite team watching this game from the glass in front of their locker rooms. They are now decked in their uniforms. ready to go for this game, or their game rather, which will happen after the conclusion of this one. So those 2 penalties, they're roughing coincidentals. So it's still 5-on-5, as here's Podrazov applying it at the left point, over for Podrazov. Podrazov back to Pinamasov. Pinamasov gets outnumbered there. Christian Wentworth trying to steal it across the center line, and he will drive it all the way down for Danik Frankor. Frankor setting it up for Podrazov yet again. He's had incredible ice time here throughout the course of the evening. Now it's Pinamasov with a deke. Down to the near end of the goal line. Feeds it up top for Skorek. Skorek trying to jam it loose out of Rooney's pad, but he comes up short there. Eels now getting Haldane, Kalinowski, Handfast, and Ov out there. As a part of the new change. And now we have some more scores table confusion here as you have 2 referees go back there. A little bit of a question about the rule book. And they'll have another halt as players await the drop of the puck in the left circle. Off to the right of Rooney. Finally, we'll get back to play. Haldane to the left circle. Drop pass to Jacob Handfast. Handfast centers it for Kalinowski. Kalinowski squaring it over for Ov in the right circle, and he will reach the high glass. Now it's Haldane behind the net. Haldane getting outnumbered, but he's able to fire it on out of there to Handfast. Handfast frees it over to Haldane behind the net. Now Handfast down left corner, up for Kalinowski, still at the center of the blue line. Now Handfast up at the point left side, goes across for Ov. Ov back over left end for Kalinowski, who goes wide left. Now a shot, and yet again another save by Rooney. 28 seconds until we'll see the penalty box get cleared out. And that means Robideau will get back to the game. Yet again, still looking for that 3rd goal of the evening. Scored once in the first and once in the second. Incomplete pass intended to Reeser here, going down the length of the rink. Now at 2:20 to go in the game. And at this point, it's not a matter of if, but when the Eels come away with the victory, as they have it all sealed up with the 7-goal advantage. And even then, they're still managing to hog up the puck and attacking ice, as now it's Jacob Handfast. Far circle, lets it skitter on down to the corner and back up to the opposite side. One-man line change for the Eels. Kev Toth jumping out. And yet again, it's full strength. J.S. Robideau, however, heading back to the Eels benches. This one tacks around Danik Frankor. Tacked off to his right. As here's Kev Toth at the right point, shot on and out of play. 1:26 to go in this one. As we now reach 8:20 p.m. here in Estero, Florida. And you know, that's pretty impressive that we're about to end this game and we're just a little over 2 hours into it. 2 hours and 5 minutes to be exact. But yet again, that's what happens when you keep the game of hockey rolling and you don't have any nonsense going on between the whistles. There's less discussion here for the officials, and just as I say that, now Medina's to the penalty box for an unsportsmanlike. And Brown's doing the same for the Junior Blades. And it's funny because I mentioned how those two have had a history with each other over the past couple of days. Now they're going to chirp back and forth between the benches. You can see the hands flying between those two. Now it's 4-on-4, and as a result of that, Alex Brown and Medina, they both have their days come to a finish. Sizov in the right corner, flicks it back up top, but Hertog is able to get to it. So as it's announced on the public address system, both penalties are due to unsportsmanlike conduct. And it was all about those two running their mouths just before that puck was dropped in the right circle. Down to the final minute we go, 50 seconds, and the Junior Blades come rushing on into the left circle. Frank Orr comes up as Superman yet again. He will prompt the whistle, and both teams get the line changes rolling. An incredible night for the Eels, and they've impressed me throughout the past couple of weeks. Yet again, this is Game 4 of this 5-game series. Game 6 of this 9-game season series against the Junior Blades, and the Eels remain undefeated tonight as they will now go 6-0 when playing against the Blades. Now 5 of the past 6 games have been decided by a margin of 3 goals or higher. That is something else. And also, keep in mind, the Eels will advance in the standings 2 games ahead of DM Academy for that first place spot in the Florida Premier Division. Center ice, Eels blocking the Junior Blades back in their own territory. 6 seconds to go. Now it's McNeish tying it up with Hemstrom, right circle. Not able to make the stop as Rooney. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your hockey game. At the end of regulation in this premier contest, your score, the Florida Eels 8 and the Florida Junior Blades 1. Eels with the victory. They are now 22-11-2 on the regular season slate. Junior Blades bounce down to 8-23, 1-2. So fans, keep in mind, in just about half an hour from now, we'll have Game 2 of this doubleheader coming up. It's the Elite Division contest between the Eels and the Junior Blades. Catch it right here on the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. But until then, this has been Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play of the action. Thank you for tuning in. Have a safe rest of your Friday night and a great start to your weekend. We'll see you in half an hour, folks. One last time, it's 8-1. The Florida Eels prevail over the Junior Blades here at Hertz Arena in Estero, Florida.